One of the defining characteristics of a drawing is the level of detail with which you choose to draw an object or material. A high degree of detail may be necessary for a technical drawing of a botanical specimen or an industrial design in which accuracy and exact representation is required to communicate the subject matter. If you are developing a quick design concept, you may draw just a few gestures with your pen or pencil, capturing the big idea without any attempt at accuracy or realism. Your decision to put detail into a drawing depends on these general conditions: the intent of your drawing, sketch, concept drawing, presentation drawing; the amount of time you intend to commit to your drawing; the expectations of those reviewing your drawing, client, teacher, design team; the hierarchy of subjects being presented within the drawing. You can create different levels of detail in a single drawing. A feature subject within the image may be more delineated, while the level of detail for less important elements in the drawing may be reduced. Not all subjects within the image area need to be treated with the same level of specificity. Changing the amount of detail can also create a sense of depth and distance in the image. Objects in the foreground can have more delineation, while objects in the distance can be lightly drawn with minimal detail. Look at these images. In this imagination sketch of a central video control room with satellites and overhead monitors, the idea is to capture without detail. In the second image, detail is added and shows the faces of the people in the foreground. The central control room is also detailed. Notice how the people in the rear lack detail. To emphasize the complex overhead video structure, the floor has no detail, lacking even shadows beneath the people. Permanent ink pen on mylar with moderate hatching in place of color. The amount of detail and effort invested in a drawing is directly proportional to the size of the image. Always draw small, as the limited image area enables you to bypass the level of delineation you would have to commit to if your drawing were twice the size. The detail shown in the image represents a 6 by 6 inch detail from the original drawing. Imagine the difficulty involved in delineating the additional amount of detail if that drawing were 12 by 12 inches.